Welcome to the Color of Success podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Stephanie J. Wong. Many of us are feeling a wide range of emotions: sadness, anger, fear, sometimes hopelessness and helplessness. This season, we will be exploring all the feelings and ways to empower each other to take action. So, let's go. Thank you so much for joining me today. You are a legend, and
No, I'm not. I'm just a McDonald owner and love to serve a lot of hot burgers, great hot fries, and keep customer happy and keep employees happy. That's my job.
You're so adorable. When even now, like talking to you, because I watched the documentary and it was just so wonderful to see you and your son's relationship and how supportive you are of him. Well, tell me a little bit more, tell our audience a little bit more about what led you to open a McDonald's.
Well, way back, I did work, go to school and learn English. I went through 3 continents. So I'm immigrant, and I always learn to work hard, harder than anyone else. My mom always say, if you have a job, you get there, be the first one to get there and last one to leave your job. And that kind of work ethics always in my mind. So I was married in 1979, and my husband family had a very successful Chinese restaurant in Bronx, New York. And I grew up in Venezuela in my father's coffee shop. So after working 9 to 5 for a while, we decided maybe we should open our own business. And long story short, I did a few, homework in the library. Those days, you go to the library.
I still go to the library. I love it. I love holding a good book.
So somehow I had 2 daughters by then, and I was home for a few months on maternity leave. And I said, what's the secret with this McDonald? So I bring my kids to McDonald, and I open up the burger, and I said, okay, ketchup, mustard, onion, and a beef patty. That shouldn't be that hard. So I found a 800 number, and I called them. And within 3 days, we got a phone call back. They want to interview us. And we drove to Long Island, and we had a 5 hours interview. They wanted to know everything about our life. So long story short, we met that criteria. And then next thing was a long training period. It was like 18 months because we still had to keep our job. And then we were training on weekends and evenings. And we met all the criteria. McDonald is very tough to make it. And then they call us after we came back from Hamburger U. They said, okay, we need you to relocate to Boston. We need to open our first Chinatown store. And we go, huh? We don't know anybody in Boston. Mm-hmm. And I had 2 young girls, but we did move. And companies provided us a lot of support, with where we should live, give us some background about the city and stuff. So here I am after 35 years.
Hearing about your cross-country roots and figuring out and having that work ethic, what values do you hope that your kids continue to internalize?
I would say have mental toughness, never give up. Because in life, we all face challenges every day. So some people, every little thing, they think is in the world. No, I hope my son would, have the mental toughness to carry on the business, to face challenges. Because in business, we face different challenges every day. Labor law changes, government changes, etc. And never give up. I said, you're not giving up. Because it's easy to give up, right?
Yeah. I mean, an injury had led to his baseball career not moving forward, right? And now he is working at the business, and it sounds like you're helping him possibly take over in the future. How did that conversation go, or conversations that's kind of what you're hoping from him?
You saw it in the video.
I
I said,
did.
you know what? You got cut from the Yankees, but it's not the end of the world. I said, you still in your 20s. You still very young. Our founders, Ray Kroc, he started the McDonald business when he was 55 years old. So it's never too late to, have a change of career and learn different skills and pursue different career. It's okay to fail in one thing and then start another. Many successful people, they don't always start the first business and be successful. I said, life, you need to have plan A, B, and C.
What I really liked seeing was the customer service that you provide. I mean, I don't know if I've been to many fast food restaurants that are able to carry that out and have the owner kind of greet the customers at their table. What leads you and inspires you to do that every
I
day
do
with that
that
vigor?
all the time when I enter my business. Customer service is part of this business. We have to be great at to stay number one. And I do train my managers as much as they can to connect with our customers.
How do you give feedback to people that might be a little rough around the edges and you have to continue to teach them the customer service aspect?
It's just keep training. Some people don't do a great job in customer service, then you offer them, to cook meat, to be in the back, doing different jobs. So we do have to pay attention to our business because we are a people business. Not everybody loves customer service.
How do you relax? Because it sounds like you've been working so hard all this time. And so what are your hobbies? What's your secret to staying invigorated for work?
I actually love gardening. So around 4 to 5, depending on the day I have, I do go out and garden and I talk to my plants.
I've heard that helps. My mother-in-law does that every day. So
Really?
yes, she says it definitely helps them grow.
So I do like to watch my tomatoes grow and enjoy the fruit of my hard labor.
And you and your husband have been married a very long time, and it wasn't covered as much in the documentary. But I wanted to know, I've been with my husband for 26 years, and what has been your secret to maintaining that bond?
I would say compromise. No two people are alike.
Yeah.
Okay, we compromise and don't sweat on little things. So in my earlier interviews, I think the interviewing asked me, what's your picture of success? I said, what does it make each one of us happy? Okay, yes. So I said, well, I have a car, I drive to work, I have a house, I come back to my garden, I'm happy. I have, you could say, okay, I need infinite amount of money. No, we don't need that much money to be happy. I know a lot of rich people that are so unhappy. So I said, happiness is within yourself. And marriage is the same thing, Don't don't pick little things. Let little things go and walk away.
Yes, definitely. And use humor. And, I think when you are together for so long, you start to speak each other's language
Yes.
through nonverbals, and you're like, oh, okay, you're having a bad, moment. Let's just step back a little bit. So,
And celebrate, birthdays. We do celebrate. We eat out as a family. So family is good. Yeah, I wish my son would get married soon.
well, life is finding relationships and partnerships that will sustain you.
Yes. Friendship is good. Relationship is healthy. You are a psychologist, so you know. What's your definition of mental toughness? How do we teach them to my general manager that run our business?
As you said, it's not easy, and think part of it is building a support network when things don't go well, and being able
Right.
to take a step back and have teaching and learning moments. I work with so many different clients, some of which have been unhoused for so many years and have struggled with substance abuse and substance use. And it one of those things is, what is the therapeutic value, or what is the learning moment from each thing in your life? Because things can feel very chaotic. What is the therapeutic value in that? Well, it's learning how to thrive in very fast-paced, complicated,
Yes.
short-staffed environments, and that can carry you into a lot of different things. I think people say, it's okay to fail, and at the same time, reach out for support if you feel that you have failed, because some people won't perceive it as a failure. They'll perceive it as, again, it's a learning moment. And can you create a safety net when you're doing all these, like maybe taking more risks in business and such? Like, you didn't quit your job when you were building this business. And I think a lot of people say, follow your passion. And at the same time, you still have to pay your rent. So maybe it's not quitting your job completely as you go forward.
Right. When we were learning McDonald's, we kept the full-time jobs. It was not easy. It was really tough. And being in business, I tell the new people coming in, I said, the first 10 years gonna be your toughest times. Okay, you can forget about having a day off. You're gonna work 24/7 when you're a business owner. So, and society is changing. People think to blame someone else. Sometimes take ownership. You make a mistake, go ahead and don't make it again.
To wrap it up, I mean, you have daughters, I have daughters.
Yes.
What would be your message to people that are raising young women?
Women should have a career, never stay home to be a housewife because children do grow up. And then what do? Then you start over again when you are middle age. So I always work in raising 3 kids. And I had an interview with Working Mom magazine a little while back. I said, you do need support system. You need a network of support. And having family to help you would be great. But I didn't have family support, so I always had to depend on after school program. And when my son was born, I had to bring in a woman to help care for him. So support network is critical to mothers because we cannot do everything.
No.
And even serving dinner is tough. If you're working 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, by the time you get off work, you have to shop for food and stuff. So now we have DoorDash.
Yeah. And also, I was going to say, how much McDonald's have your children eaten over their lifetime?
Yes.
Yeah.
My daughters would say, oh, in the early years, we had hamburger for dinner. My mom would walk in with a bag of burgers. because we have no money. So we have to do whatever it took to survive.
Absolutely.
It's not easy. I'm telling people, don't think it's easy. But, I always talk about a goal in life. If you have a goal, then work towards your goal. But you just have to learn that knowledge. Earlier in the interview, I talked about if you want to open a Chinese restaurant, even Chinese restaurants have changed over the years, right? Before it was chicken fried rice and noodles. Now it's tapas. So then you got to change with the world, with what the customer want to eat.
Yeah.
Do your research, do your homework before you go into business.
And know your market. I think that's what you're saying too. And look at market trends. And that's definitely what has kept you in it for so long, among other things. So, Carol, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and for joining me today. You're just a joy. Thank you for listening. We would love for you to subscribe to the podcast and join our community on all our socials at colorsuccesspodcast.com. Looking forward to you checking out my memoir, Cancel the Filter, Realities of a Psychologist, Podcaster, and Working Mother of Color on Amazon and wherever books are sold. I'd love to hear your Cancel the Filter moments.